Ah, fuck. Awkward. I have Vayne so soon, I should just chill. We win so soon. Jukes me, motherfucker, man. I have Vaynes. Ranging the clone. I'm coming. Oh, okay, defuse. Oh, please. Please don't die like this. I couldn't stop this. I'm CS. I press one. Half. No. Wait. I locked in Martine. Oh, I drift. We actually win. Biggest combos. Woo! Lead. I have Vaynes in a sec. We win so soon. 3 seconds. Okay, pressing. A lock bolt. Most. Damn, bro. Kill him. Ooh! Drifting. Double drift. Tokyo drift. Boom! It's nuclear, man. It's a nuclear drift. Bait fade. Juke kick. Juke death. Full sheep. Juke CS. Nice fear. Drift. Let's go, baby. A half. Quarter. I cannot quarter. Lock ring. Please. Oh. Please. No, you die. Fuck. All right, at least we're back. In. So season 1 of the War Within just ended, and we pushed the rank 1 title as Frost in both Shuffle and Blitz. So I thought it'd be a really good time to whip up some educational commentaries like I used to back in the day, because I have hours upon hours of footage because I stream 99% of my games. So I want to put them to some good use rather than having them disappear into the ether in a couple months. I plan to do a lot more Blitz content because I love Blitz so much. I haven't been able to enjoy Battlegrounds to this degree in like 10 plus years since I used to RBG back in MoP and Kata. Since then, BGs haven't hit the same for me, but having BGs be a solo queue bracket with a rating attached and having these new rule sets with faster mounts, faster capping, node resets, it's just kind of reignited my spark for Battlegrounds, and I feel like there's a lot I could do with this bracket in terms of content and educational stuff, so keep an eye out for that. But today we're going to start with some bare bones basic stuff. People ask in my chat sometimes, how do you survive as a mage, especially getting trained by melee, which is such like a simple question, but I think a lot of beginner and even intermediate mages struggle with it still. As a mage, you want to fight melee. You have such an insane toolkit to counter melee with your mobility, utility, and defensives that you just have to rotate them properly and then min-max your damage, obviously, in between that. And you should be doing really well into melee lobbies. Again, this is very basic, but on the last day of the season, I was lucky enough to zone into a triple melee lobby on my main to secure save rank 1. So I'm going to use the gameplay from my literal rank 1 game to demonstrate what I do. Again, a lot of you guys might know these things already, but I want to start with the basics. And then eventually, in the future videos, we can move on to more advanced, nuanced scenarios. So first thing I want to cover is defensive trading. The biggest thing about Mage is like your mobility, right? You have 2 shimmers, which are your blinks. You have an alter, which you can use and then alter back. And then when you alter back, because of this talent, you get another stack of shimmer when you alter back to your original position. So you technically have 3 shimmers. And then you have displacement, which, you can use to port back to where you blinked from. So you'll see the purple orb right there. If you displace, you can go back to it. It's like a 40-yard range. And then you obviously have Blast Wave to knock them away from you. You have a Nova, and then you have Kono Cold AoE slow, which is your biggest slow. This is your 70% slow. It's good to use this, actually, if they're stacked on you, because it's your highest slow. And then you obviously have Snowdrift to AoE stun off you, and DB. DB is good to like DB sheet, but a lot of times you don't even go for CC as a mage in Shuffle, because dampening kicks in so fast that it's better to just focus on avoiding damage and doing as much damage as possible. And then in terms of damage, you play your Frostbolt build, which is Death's Chill with Deep Shatter. And whenever you press Veins, Each frostbolt slash frost firebolt that you hit, it stacks up a death chill up to 15 stacks, which increases your spell damage every stack by 1%. So during your veins window, you actually need to hard cast a lot to min max your damage. But outside of your veins, you can use a lot of instants with like Orb, Blizzard, using your Fingers of Frost procs, Flurry if you don't have procs. Flurry makes your next two hits act as if they were frozen. Use your Instant Frost Firebolt procs. And then you used to Ring of Fire, but they changed that now. I actually don't know if I'll be playing Ring of Fire anymore. I still got to do more testing in regards to that. I'll probably stick to Ring of Frost by the looks of it. But when you veins again, you're going to want to get out as many Frost Firebolts possible. Because again, this is your death chill stacking. And you want to shatter these Frost Firebolts with Flurries. And Pet Novas as well if you don't have Flurry. And then occasionally you can look for a Snowdrift and micro them with DB and then chain it with a Calm Storm Meteor combo. And if you can cast a Frost Firebolt Lance combo into that, it's like the most damage you can do. And again, outside of veins, you just use your instants. Orb, Blizzard, Lance, Flurry, Instant Frost Firebolt, Lance. You just want to shatter things as much as possible with your Flurries though. So that's kind of the general basis. And then on top of that, you'll just be trading your mobility properly. You'll shimmer, you'll alter, you'll port, alter back, stuff like that. So you're trading properly while min-max cranking all your damage. That's kind of the mindset. So we'll get into some gameplay now. So I 6-0'd this lobby. Again, like I zoned into this lobby and I was so happy to see. This is exactly what you want as a mage, okay? But again, some of you guys might be put into a lobby like this and still not 6-0 it because you don't know how to trade properly and crank properly. So I'm going to give you guys some situational examples of what you need to do to close out these games. Snowdrift, by the way, is so good. It's so good in solo shuffle because you can set up goes by yourself and set up win conditions completely by yourself without the help from your teammates. You just kind of got to watch for DRs because it's a stun, so it's DRs with other stuns, right? Sometimes sending half drifts are totally worth it too, though, to be honest. So here we're fighting DH, Warrior, Ardred. Again, this total lobby is 2 Warriors and a DH. Like, this is beautiful. Like, to get into a lobby like this on last day is exactly what you want. So I'll send my Flurry, Lance, and I will Veins very early. I'll Alter very early too. So again, Alter is like your first button you're going to be trading generally because it's pretty short CD and it resets a blink. So the sooner you press Alter, and also you want to use it at high HP, not at 50%. So it's your first trade as a mage. And Veins really early too because you'll get it back. You'll get a second Veins to close out the game later. So the sooner you do it, the sooner it comes back. So now it's my Veins window. So I'm going to crank up those Frost Firebolts with Flurry Shatters. I choose to go Warrior here, but honestly, it's an Ardred, so it's good to swap around. I get juked here on Clone, so he gets precog, so I blink away. They both connect to me, so now I will port Displace. You see I'm rotating my utility and mobility there. They both connect, so I'm going to send a half drift on them with a DB micro, and I Comet Storm it, which we get Trinket from the Warrior. And now we're splitting. This is totally good. Versus an Ardred, it's good to hit all three because it makes it a lot harder for the Druid to keep their team alive when you are forcing him to swap your hots. And now right here, you'll notice how I used all my offensives. Like I have my offensive cooldowns on the left side of my screen. You can notice right here. And then my defenses are more so on the right side. So right here, I've used Veins, Orb, Snowdrift, Ring of Fire. And I've used Alter and Displace and DB and Knock. So like this is the best time to shift. When you get a full channel shift, you're reducing the cooldown of all of these buttons, right? So I will pre-send the Velve port here because I play Void Elf. I'll shift. I get kicked halfway through, so I'll cast a Ring. Since I'm kicked Arcane, I'll cast Frost, which we get Trinket from the Druid. And right here, I look for an Ice Wall play. I forgot to mention, Ice Wall is crazy good too. The things you could do to close out games with Ice Wall, it kind of takes practice and like looking for opportunities. I'm still not perfect with it. This is definitely not the best Ice Wall, but there's a better one like later in this game that I can show you guys. But again, you see how I'm just like rotating my utility and mobility here. I'll Alter the second they connect, and I'll start making distance from where I altered. You never want to stand where you alter because you want to make them waste their gap closers. Like right there, he charged to me, right? And now they both get to me, and I can alter back. You want to get as many gap closers as possible, so you're like one ahead essentially in terms of mobility. We get the Snowdrift here with the Stormbolt on the Druid. Ring of Fire. Again, we're not going to be playing Ring of Fire probably. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet, but just swapping around on hots. We get Nether Walk. Again, just making sure I'm not overusing my shimmers. I just use it when I need to, right? So right here, I'll Trinket, blink away now as they connect. Oh, another thing to mention is like, on top of your mobility, you also have Mirror Image and Greater Invis too. I've coached a good handful of mages to their first Glad and Legend. I'll usually VOD review their gameplay in Discord. And a lot of times these mages don't utilize these two buttons well enough. They'll send their ice block before they even use. So you got to remember, mirror image is a 20% damage reduct for 3 big hits. So use that as a damage mitigation. Comboing that with like your alter time early is really good. And then your greater invis as a 60% damage reduct for 3 seconds. So using that when you get really low, when you don't have alter or displace or shimmer left, is really good. Like that, this is like your oh shit button, your greater invis. So make sure to put these two buttons on cooldown, obviously with alter and shimmer and displace, before you send a block. Your block should be last resort. So I noticed a lot of mages like block way too early. So just keep that in mind. So right now I've already mirror image. I still have my greater invis. Like I don't really need to use it yet. It's second last resort, your greater invis. You're not actually using it for the invis portion. It's just for the dam reduct. And then again, just crank as much damage as possible. Right here, the warrior gets iron bark by the druid. So now I'm going to hit the DH then, right? Just hit whoever takes the most damage in this moment. My orb gets a little scuffed here, but we force trank. I alter at 79% HP. So I move away from the altar again to create distance. And as soon as the war is very far from me, I'll alter back, attempt to ring the fear on the druid, which it gets kicked. But now my second veins has come back up. I veins here. I'm going to try to get as many frost firebolts as possible. I end up having to block here because I am in a stormbolt, so I can't use my wall. That's like one case where you're going to block before wall, but it's all good. I'm going to blink. I do have displace here if I need, but I get bopped. And now I can free cast. This is my free cast window. I still don't know how the DH really died here. This was actually kind of crazy. I think he just got comboed really hard, and my frost fire infusion procced as well, which this is very rare this happens. This is his death log. I just got a proc off of a proc, and he died really fast. But this is kind of like a cheese game. It's a decent example of rotating defensives, though, so we'll take it. But definitely not the most textbook game. Let's go into the next game. This is DH War HPAL. So same concept. This comp you can sheep a little bit more when the HPAL has no sack to break out a sheep. And it's a lot easier to sheep an HPAL over an Ardred, right? So again, like, you see how early I veins alter? Because you want to get that 100% alter value. I veins or blizzard instantaneously, and now I will crank out as many frost firebolts as possible. I can try to free sheep here, which is Pala doesn't sack. It's kind of troll by him. He's in the open. So it's good to go for CC when it's free. Again, like when I'm going to go back. When the Paladin's 70 yards away, I'm not going to go in there to sheep. But if he comes to me and it's free, then like see how he horses into me without sacking? Now I will go for the sheep. So never go for CC and overforce it. Just do it when it comes to you, because sometimes it gets handed to you on a silver platter. And a lot of times if you're doing a lot of damage, the CC will come to you. I get iron barked here. This is my veins. We did sheep the pallet twice into fear. Again, I'm trying to crank out as many frost firebolts as possible. I have 6 stacks of Death's Chill. I'm going to blink away here. You'll notice I utilize my Velf port. I'm going to get the stun off and then Velf port. Do I even... Oh, I don't end up even porting because I want to get the half drift. Okay, my veins has ended, and now I have no mobility, no alters, no nothing. So I want to try to get a shift off here if possible. I knock him off of me. I wall. See how I have wall right there? A lot of mages would block here. But instead of blocking, I'll use my greater invis for 6% damage reduct, and now I have to block though. But you see how I have no alter, I have no displace, I have no knock, no DB. No mirror image, no wall. So now I will block. It's last resort again. Be really good if I can get a shift off here, but I alter at 100% outside of block, my second alter. Use my instant cast orb, blizzard, lances. Again, like outside of veins, you don't have to hard cast too much. And then what I do here, I alter back and then use that moment to get a shift off. I shimmer away so I don't get kicked by these two. Get some value there for my shift. And then I will look for a Snowdrift Ice Wall combo on this warrior, and then just goes down. The warrior had no wall or rally, so let me go back here. This is really good. Like I mentioned earlier, Snowdrift has so many good win conditions. I will DB him. He had no Blaze Storm to get out, so... And then Commissar Meteor combo into Frost Firebolt Ice Lance, and he just goes down, just stuck on the other side of the wall. So again, you're just avoiding damage, using your defenses, and looking for these Ice Wall drift opportunities. And sometimes just drifting is enough, too. And then now this game is double warrior into Ardred. Again, it's an Ardred, so you want to swap around. It's even good to hit the Ardred too. I instantaneously Blizzard Orb, alter at 100, veins instantaneously. I go for an Ice Wall early here. We get double Blaze Storm. I will Trinket Altar back here. This is a little sketchy. I almost died here, so I have to Trinket Altar back. Let's see what happens. Meteor Comet Storm. Try to combo with a Flurry. Okay, now we get Wall. Again, you can keep your eyes right here to see enemy defensives. We got both walls and a rally from the enemy team. This is so huge in terms of our momentum right now. Both warriors have no defensives now, and the druid's like holding his bark kind of, which is a little weird. But again, this is my veins. I'm just look at my stacks of Death Chill, dude. 15 stacks of that's 15% increased damage this whole time. How many? Let's go back a little bit. How many Frost Fireballs have I gotten out here? From the second I veins. Look at my Death Chill stacks, by the way. My weak aura right here, you could see. So there's Frost Firebolt. There's 2 stacks. Since they're stacked again, it's stacking twice as fast because my Frost Firebolt cleaves. I make some distance. Flurry, Frost Firebolt. He gets to me, I blink away, getting those Frost Firebolts off, shattering it with flurries. Okay. More Frost Firebolts. I still have 7 seconds of veins here, so I'm trying to like min-max this, right? Time Warp proc. This is just like max crankage. I can't remember even what happens here. We get Trank. Like we're so ahead on momentum. No way he dies here, right? Though we get Iron Bark. The game shouldn't end this quick though. It's only 10% dampening. So again, using my instance, Blizzard Orb, Lances. I do have Snowdrift, so I can maybe look for a Snowdrift play. We got double stun here. I alter at 96. I try to go for a half stun, which I get. Instant Frost Firebolts. Again, just doing as much damage as possible. We cage the Druid. This guy gets Hodge back here. So we Meteor combo. He melts my half sheep. NS heal. I juked him precog. I port as they connect. I shift now. I shift all my cooldowns back. Veins, Orb, Drift, Shimmer, Alter, Displays, just CDRing everything, max value. I'm trying not to get juked here. I really don't want to give the Druid precog, right? So sometimes, like right here, for example, it's good to be patient with your CS because most Druids won't commit this. So CS casting Clone, I'm not CSing it because I don't want to give him precog. So now he's like wasting so much time. So I Ice Wall this part off. Go for the drift with Ice Wall. He comes to the other side, but he gets comboed so hard and just goes down. Just overwhelming damage. It just, again, comes down to rotating your mobility properly. Because if you get into a lobby and they try going Mage, at lower ratings, you'll get trained a lot more. But if you show the lobby, okay, I'm not letting you touch me. I'm going to make it a nightmare for you to try to kill me. They will give up. And in the later rounds, they're not even going to go you. So like if you are getting trained as a mage versus triple melee, you just have to make it harder for them. You got to trade better because yeah, a lot of times they realize it's a waste of time to go you. But you see, it's like similar concept, just trading defenses and mobility, going for those Snowdrift, Comet Storm plays, and not forcing CC. Again, when I VOD review mages to help them for their first Glad or Legend, like the mages will try to CC too much. They're not rotating defenses too much, and they're also not min-maxing their damage properly either. AKA, you know, grinding out Frost Fireballs during Veins. I love Void Elf, man. People say Void Elf is overrated, but it's so fun the things you could do here. Let's see what mobility I traded here. Especially in Blitz, the things you could do like on Temple of Katmogu, for example. So I alter at 100. I Trinket blink away. So now, because I'll get a blink reset when I alter back, right? He hunts me. And the warrior charges me. Again, getting out gap closers. So now I can alter back after the gap closers, ideally. Now they use another gap closer. I wall. 6% dam reduc. Wait, and then let me go back here. I use my second shimmer. I pre-Velf port this way. I displace back. I even get the ring on the Druid off the fear, and then I Void Elf port this way. You see that? And then they use another gap closer. I still have a shimmer and a knock if they get to me. See, there's another gap closer. Now I can knock. See how it's just like gap opener, and then they close it. A gap opener, they close it. Gap opener, they close it. So you just have to make sure everything is just super high value, and make sure you're doing damage in between. I shift shimmer to get more ticks from it. He does kick me though. Now I alter because I shimmered my alter back. 78% alter. I have weapon on me, so I'm yeah. Oh, I think he purged my alter there though. Did he purge it? Yeah, the DH purged it, I believe, which is unlucky. But I get laid. I shimmer away. Now I have a displace, aka port if they get back to me again. I'm going to rebuff my arcane intellect. Now I'm just trying to slow down the game as much as possible. This is actually a really good example of getting trade and trading properly. Now we look for the drift. We drift both to Comet Meteor, and I ice wall it, which forces the dark from the DH. You see this? So I'm trading all my mobility and utility, and then when I run out of everything, then I look for the drift when they get to me again. Because they will get to me, right? Using the wall to force a warrior away from the enemy healer. And now I'm going to play really slow, because at this point I have nothing, right? I have to block, and I have no veins, no orb, no drift, no altar. So now I just got to play really slow for 20 seconds until I can use my second veins. And we can use that to close out the game, essentially. Almost guaranteed. But maybe the warrior goes down between. Okay. But yeah, hopefully you get the concept and mindset by now. Watch this last game. Using instance before they get in. Or Blizzard. Veins, altar at 100. Same concept, man. It's rinse and repeat. You just have to get the muscle memory down. Now, since this is my veins, I want to try to crank as many Frost Firebolts as possible. We get sack out, altering back. Look at all this. Look at all this. I've covered like 80 yards, 90 yards within this time. He gets to me. I'm going to pre-Velport this way while I blink this way. Now I Velport all the way here and shift all my CDs back. See how I'm making it annoying? I try to do kick there, but I get kicked. My veins ends now. Maybe I can free sheep pal. Again, do not force CC, but if it's free, go for it. I shimmer to get distance. He reverses the poly. I shimmer and sheep. It was kind of like a defensive and offensive shimmer at the same time. Now we look for a drift here. He blade storms it. I send the ice wall anyways. We get wall from the warrior. My warrior has a wall too though, but it's all good. So a lot of cooldowns. Okay, there's nether walk too. See how we're just cleaving them all down? It's just mythic plus, baby. It's mythic plus. Avoid dam, avoid mechanics, do max dam, parse on them. And at this point, their enemy warrior has no wall, enemy DH has no dark, nether walk, no bubble now. I do have 2 shimmers here if I need to. I sheep the DH off me to slow down the game since he's high HP anyways. And now I have a drift. I'd probably look for a drift here soon, right? Okay, nice. He double triple fears. I drift. Oh, the DH gets cloned on my drift, unfortunately, but I get a full sheep. See what happens. Sheep again. And yeah, we just close out the game. It's such a free lobby. Like, if you get into a triple melee lobby, you should be very happy. You're most likely just not trading the defensives properly and mobility or doing max damage, or you're probably not even playing drift. So hopefully this video gives you a good idea of how to play in this lobby. If you have any requests on specific type of lobbies you want commentaries on, feel free to ask. And yeah, more Blitz videos on the way, guys.